Welcome back to The Deep Dive. This is the show that really digs into helping you chat like a native.
Mm.
And today we're unlocking something, well, pretty powerful, I think. It goes way beyond just nailing the grammar or having a huge vocabulary list.
It really does.
We're talking about the subtle stuff, the how you say things, the secret sauce that makes your English sound, well, natural, polite, and actually confident.
That's the goal, right?
Totally. Have you ever, felt your words landed a bit too directly, or maybe you weren't quite convincing enough?
Or maybe worried about asking for something.
Exactly. Like, how do you ask without sounding pushy or demanding? So our mission today is to give you some specific tools. We call them hedging and boosting, plus the art of the indirect question.
And these aren't just, stuffy academic terms.
Not at all. Think of them as your toolkit. They help you soften things, show you're sure about something, handle disagreements smoothly.
Make interactions just better, more thoughtful.
Yeah, it's kind of a shortcut to sounding more nuanced, more fluent in English.
And that's exactly why this is so important, isn't it? If you want to take your English up a level, it's not just about sounding nice. It's about building real connections, genuine relationships. When you get these tools right, your English doesn't just sound correct. It feels right. It shows respect.
Right.
It invites people in, builds trust, makes you sound credible. Whether you're just chatting, asking for help, or speaking up in a meeting, it helps make sure you're actually heard and understood and, appreciated.
Okay, let's dive in then. First up, this idea of hedging. We're calling it the gentle touch.
Good way to put it.
Basically, hedging is about softening your language, making opinions or statements less absolute.
Less black and white.
Yeah, it's about being a bit cautious, conversational, giving the other person some space instead of being super direct or maybe even a little abrupt.
Which can happen easily, even unintentionally.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Think about this difference. If you say really confidently, it will rain tomorrow.
Sounds like you've got a direct line to the Weather Channel.
Haha, right. But if you just tweak it slightly to, it might rain tomorrow. See how that one word might just changes the whole vibe.
Totally. It's an observation now, a possibility.
Exactly. Not some final, unarguable fact. That's hedging right there, creating that little bit of room.
And what's really key about hedging, I think, isn't just that surface politeness. It's actually strategic.
Yeah.
It helps build like a shared understanding.
How so?
Well, when you say it might rain, you're kind of implicitly inviting the other person in. Like, what do you think?
Right.
They can agree or offer their own idea.
Ah, okay. So it makes it safer for them to speak up.
Exactly. It creates what psychologists sometimes call psychological safety. You're signaling, hey, your thoughts are welcome here. This isn't just me talking at you.
That's really interesting, like intellectual humility.
Precisely. And that's huge for building real connection and having open conversations, especially if the topic is a bit sensitive or you disagree slightly.
Yeah, it makes it less like a battle and more like exploring together. And the great thing is, there are loads of easy ways to do this. We often use modal verbs, things like might, could, may, would.
The classics.
Right. So instead of I'm going to the party, you might hedge with I might go to the party. Or instead of that is the best solution, maybe that could be the best solution.
Subtle shift. Big difference in feel.
Definitely. Then you've got simple introductory phrases like I think, I believe, it seems, it appears.
Stuff we use all the time, maybe without even realizing why.
Probably.
Right.
So this idea is interesting because I think this idea is interesting. It feels less like you're laying down the law, more like you're offering a thought.
Inviting discussion.
And we also use softening adverbs like possibly, probably, perhaps, maybe.
Perhaps we could try that.
Yeah, or it's probably going to rain. Again, it just makes things less rigid, more flexible.
And sometimes you need to signal that you're passing on information, not stating a known fact. That's where distancing phrases come in handy.
Ah, like hedging the source of the information, almost.
Kind of. Phrases like, as far as I know, or from what I've heard, or it seems to me.
Okay, examples.
Well, instead of declaring, it is a good restaurant, you could say, from what I've heard, it's a good restaurant.
Yeah.
C, you're reporting, not guaranteeing.
Gotcha. Or, as far as I know, the meeting is tomorrow.
Exactly. It leaves room for error or for new info to come along without making you look like you were totally wrong before. It protects your credibility, in a way.
That makes sense. Let's do some quick comparisons just to nail this down. So, without hedging, that idea is wrong. Ouch.
Yeah, pretty blunt.
But with a hedge, that idea might not work. Much softer, right?
Definitely opens the door for why not, instead of just shutting it.
Or instead of, I know he's guilty, which is a huge claim maybe, I'm not sure, but he could be responsible.
Again, acknowledges uncertainty. Very important.
Even just making plans with friends, instead of I'll definitely come, saying I'll probably come, gives you that bit of wiggle room.
Manages expectations.
When-
Crucial.
And professionally, instead of just, I think we should do this next, maybe try, I think this might be the next best step. It sounds more collaborative.
It really does. It's all about navigating that social side of language.
Okay, so if hedging is the gentle touch, the collaborative move, what's the flip side?
That would be boosting. Hedging softens, boosting. Well, it strengthens. It adds confidence.
Right.
It's for those times when you are certain or you really need to emphasize something. It's just as important as hedging, but for different reasons. Clarity, credibility, getting attention on what matters.
Okay, so how do we boost? What are the tools?
Similar categories, actually. We use strong adverbs. Think clearly, definitely, obviously, certainly.
This clearly works best.
Exactly. Or, we definitely need a break. It removes ambiguity.
Makes sense. And strong verbs.
Yep. Things like know, believe strongly, insist.
Like, I know this is right.
Or, I firmly believe we should wait. These words signal conviction. They can help you show leadership, focus people's attention, especially in work settings.
Okay, conviction.
But here's the thing. The real art is in the balance.
Ah, okay. Not just hedging all the time or boosting all the time.
Precisely. You hedge for caution, politeness, humility. You boost for certainty, importance, maybe inspiring confidence. The danger's going too far either way.
Right. Too much hedging.
Can make you sound wishy-washy, hesitant, like you lack conviction.
Yeah, I can see that.
But too much boosting. Constantly saying definitely, obviously, I know.
You might sound arrogant, inflexible.
Exactly. Maybe even like you're dismissing other people's ideas. It's about picking the right tool for that specific moment, for the impact you want to have.
That balance is so important. I know I've sometimes written an email, hedged it a lot, then read it back and thought, gosh, do I even sound like I know what I'm talking about?
Times.
Like saying, I think it might possibly work. It just sounds weak, doesn't it?
It really undercuts your point.
The listener might just think, well, they're not very sure, are they? So moderation seems key. Like maybe one hedge per sentence is usually enough.
That's a good rule of thumb. I think it might work. Is way stronger than that triple hedged version you mentioned. Clear, but still thoughtful.
Okay, got it.
And this idea of being thoughtful, considerate, and leads us perfectly into our next tool, indirect questions.
Ah, yes. Another way to soften things.
Exactly. A more subtle way to ask things, but really effective for sounding natural and, well, polite.
So why use them? Why not just ask directly?
Well, they really take the edge off requests. Imagine you need directions from a stranger.
Okay.
Or you're talking to your teacher or your boss or just in any kind of formal situation.
Yeah.
An indirect question just lands better. It makes you sound more fluent, more considerate, definitely more respectful.
Less demanding.
Less demanding, for sure. It's about showing that social awareness.
Okay, so how do they actually work? Give us an example.
Simple one. Direct question. Where is the bank?
Straight to the point.
Yep. Functional, but maybe a bit blunt, depending on who you're asking. The indirect version smooths it out. Could you tell me where the bank is?
Okay. It feels different, yeah. More like a request for help.
Exactly. And we often start these with phrases like, could you tell me? Do you know?
I was wondering. That's a common one.
Would you mind telling me? Or even, do you have any idea?
Lots of options.
And here's the slightly tricky part, but it's crucial. The word order changes.
Okay, how so?
In the direct question, where is the bank? The verb is comes before the subject, the bank. Standard question format.
Right.
But in the indirect question, could you tell me where the bank is? The order flips back to statement order. The verb is comes after the bank.
Ah, okay. Where the bank is, like it's part of a statement.
Exactly. It makes the question part feel less like a direct interrogation. And if it's a yes-no question,
How did that work?
you usually add if or whether. So instead of, is the meeting tomorrow? You'd say, do you know if the meeting is tomorrow?
Got it. Do you know if, or could you tell me if?
Right. Small change, big impact on sounding polite and natural.
Okay, so we've got hedging, boosting, and indirect questions. Powerful tools. How do we actually weave these together in, real life?
Great question. Let's talk practical tips.
Tip 1. You can actually combine hedging with indirect questions. This is like Maximum politeness level unlocked.
Uh-huh. Yes, the double softener.
Instead of just asking directly, even indirectly, you could add a hedge. Like, I was wondering if you could possibly help me with this.
See, the possibly adds another layer of gentleness. Very respectful.
Super considerate.
And that leads right into tip number 2. Always think about your relationship with the person you're talking to.
Context is everything.
Absolutely. You need to adjust your language. With a close friend, maybe that might be okay. It's totally fine. Casual, easy.
But to your boss
Yeah.
or your professor.
You'd probably go much more formal, much more hedged. Something like, may I possibly ask when the assignment is due?
Wow, yeah. Very different levels of formality and hedging there.
The context, the power dynamic,
Yeah,
your relationship, it all shapes the language you should choose.
makes total sense. Okay, tip 3. Use boosting, but use it strategically.
Like a special weapon, not an everyday tool.
Right. Save it for when you are genuinely sure about something factual, or when you really need to show strong conviction,
Like, I definitely finished the report. No ambiguity there.
or I firmly believe this is the right way forward. Use those strong words, but use them sparingly so they actually mean something.
If you boost everything, nothing sounds important anymore. And yeah, you risk sounding a bit much.
A bit arrogant, like we said. And finally,
Tip number 4, learn to read the room. Develop that instinct for when a polite, hedged approach is better.
like for requests, suggestions, expressing uncertainty,
Exactly. Versus when a clear, confident, boosted statement is needed.
maybe presenting facts, stating a firm conclusion.
Right. That situational awareness, knowing when to use which tool, that's a huge part of truly chatting like a native. It's about making your English fit the moment perfectly.
Okay, this is great. To really let this sink in, maybe we could do a few quick before and after transformations.
Good idea. Let's run through some.
Okay, instead of saying, you are wrong.
Which, let's be honest, can really shut someone down.
Yeah. Try softening it to, I think you might be mistaken.
See? It opens up discussion, doesn't accuse.
Okay, how about a simple question? Where is the restroom?
Functional, but could be warmer.
Transform politely. Could you tell me where the restroom is?
Much nicer. More considerate. You're more likely to get a smile with that one.
Definitely. What about a really strong statement? This is the only solution.
Sounds very final, doesn't it? Maybe a bit close-minded.
Hedge it slightly. This could be the best solution.
Leaves room for other ideas, invites collaboration.
Okay, maybe you know something but don't want to sound like a know-it-all instead of, I know the answer.
Try. I believe I might know the answer.
Still confident, but adds that touch of humility. Nice.
And one more, a direct command. Send me the report now.
Oof. A bit harsh.
Transform it into a polite request. Would you mind sending me the report when you have a chance?
Worlds apart. These little shifts really do make a huge difference in how people hear you and how effective you are.
They absolutely do.
So wow, what a deep dive today. We've really seen how hedging and indirect questions are kind of like using a soft brush, maybe?
I like that analogy. Gentle, polite, thoughtful, creating that psychological safety we talked about.
Exactly. And then boosting is more like a bold stroke with the brush.
Adding strength, clarity, conviction when it's needed.
And the real skill, as we've discussed, is learning how to balance them. When to use which one. It's not either.
It's both.
Yeah.
Used wisely.
Yeah.
That's mastering the nuance. And honestly, getting a handle on these tools will massively help you communicate more naturally, more respectfully, and more effectively in English. It really is key to empowering you to chat like a native, getting your message across with both confidence and consideration. And that helps build those stronger connections we all want.
So, a final thought for everyone listening. Next time you're speaking English, pause for a second. Think not just about what you want to say, but how.
How could these subtle tools, hedging, boosting, indirect questions, change the way your message lands?
What tiny shift in your phrasing could make your next chat more impactful, or maybe build a stronger bridge with someone? Give it a try.
Definitely experiment with it.
Thanks so much for joining us on The Deep Dive.